Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Folu and this is Get Candid with Folu, where we talk about everyday life issues. I bring in my personal opinion and that of any invited guests on the show. On today's episode, I will be talking about privilege or being privileged. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? How do you feel about it? Of course, I'm going to be telling you how I personally feel, but I am open. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you think about just generally being privileged. So being privileged, what does it really mean? Per the dictionary or per Google, it means having or enjoying special rights, advantages, or benefits. It can also refer to belonging to a class that enjoys such privileges. So here's the thing. I think that obviously we all know that there's different classes that we can belong to in life. But depending on the class that you belong to in life, you have some privileges that you enjoy. Now, the thing is, should someone be criticized for their own privileges? I personally don't think so, because it's really not their fault. So for instance, someone who was born with a silver spoon, they have some privileges in life that just make them not able to see some other persons or some other class of people's views, just because it's not something that they have been exposed to. It's not something that they have any knowledge of. So it's difficult for them to be able to see it. Now, the thing though is when such people speak, some of us who are perhaps in a lower class than them, we get mad at how they speak, right? We get mad because it's like, what are you talking about? We live in the same world. How do you not know this? Because this is our own reality, right? But the thing is, can you really blame them for not knowing what my reality is if they've never had to leave my reality? I don't think so. However, the caveat is, because we have not lived somebody else's reality does not mean that we should be insensitive to how that person feels. Okay? So for instance, I have some people here, obviously, from my introduction, I've said I live in the United States. And so sometimes when people complain, especially at my job, when they complain and they get very mad about some things, it beats me, because I'm like, one day I had to tell one of my coworkers, I said, you know what? I wish that there was something. I know that the Mormons do something where they send their people to other countries and they go and live there for some time. But I truly wish that there was something like an exchange program where in life, where people in the Western world go to like third world countries and they go and spend maybe like a year there just to see how they live. But when you're going, like if you're going from here, if you're living here in America and you want to go to Nigeria, you're not going to go to Lagos and Lekki and VI and things like that, or Ikoyi. No, you go to Oshogbo or Ilesha, or you go to towns. I'm only speaking from the southwest because that's what I know about. You go to places like that, the rural areas, and you go and see how they live. I think that it gives you a special appreciation of what you have. Because I have lived in Nigeria for most of my life, I am here and I appreciate many things. At work, I hardly complain. I mean, if I'm complaining about people's behaviors and maybe about things like this, about how much they complain. But because I truly see my job and, my employer and everything that I have as a gift and a benefit and something that I cannot take lightly, But people around me don't see it that way. But I know that the reason they don't see it that way is because they are privileged. They are privileged to have been born in the West. Whether black, white, yellow, brown, regardless of their color. They're just privileged to have been born here. So I cannot be mad at them. I cannot be mad at the fact that they do not see some of the things that I see, because I was born in Nigeria and I know some of the struggles. And even despite the fact that I was born in Nigeria, there are some struggles that I don't know. Because technically, I would say thank God that I was a privileged child, even in that Nigeria. So there are going to be some people who were less privileged than I was that would still see me and be like, oh, she does not know the plight of those of us here. So, well, again, it's not my fault that I was born into the home I was born into. Obviously, there are people that were born into richer homes than me, but I was born into a good home, and that's not my fault. Thank God for that, right? So that's a blessing on its own, and I am grateful to God for that. But whenever I am expressing myself, if I don't know, so there's some things that, I may not know and may just be completely over my head because it's unimaginable, but they are happening, right? If someone brings that to my knowledge that, listen, you can't talk like this, because this and this and this happens, then I should be able to sit back and, be able to, not necessarily imagine, because it might be unimaginable for me, but I should be able to sit back and be able to realign myself. So again, I don't think privilege is a bad thing. In our privilege, in our advantage, the advantage that God really, in his own infinite wisdom, has decided to bestow upon us, let us make sure that we're not completely oblivious of the fact that there are people who do not have that. There are people who do not have the advantages and the benefits that we have by virtue of where we were born, the family we were born into, the benefits that surround us. So, I know that, again, I was just talking about whether or not it's a bad thing. Let me know how you feel. Let me know. What I'd like to hear from you is, some things that have made you think and made you appreciate where you are, appreciate your own privilege, because everybody, right? Everybody in life has a little bit one up over another person. And I said this, what I mean by that is there are people who would like to be in your shoes. It sounds cliche. It really does sound cliche. But no matter what you're going through, no matter where you are, no matter what you think that, or what your reality is, there are people who would beg for that reality that you have. So let me know what you think. Let me know things that have opened your eyes to see that you are privileged in life. I would really like to hear from you. But that's it from me on today's episode of Get Candid with Fulu. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Until we see you again. Have a good one. Bye.